Hello and welcome to the second part of the tracing lesson. In this lesson we are going to learn about these three options: smooth stack scans, remove background, and SIOX foreground selection. First of all, smooth. What does smooth do? Well, smooth just provides a blur, a Gaussian filter, a Gaussian blur to your image, and it smooths out any sharp edges in the picture. This results in a much smoother path, a much simpler path. If you want to precisely hug every little corner, then ensure that smooth is off. If you want a smooth path with less nodes, then ensure that smooth is on. Stack scans, if that's enabled, then the various layers will be stacked on top of one another, and those at the bottom will take up at least as much space as those on the top. This makes sure that there's no empty spaces in your picture. Now I'm going to demonstrate the difference between enabling stack scans and not enabling stack scans. So first I select a picture, I make sure stack scans is enabled, and I click on OK. I move the stack scanned version to the left. I reselect the picture, I deselect stack scans, and I click on OK again. And I will move it now to the right. Let's close this dialog. Let's close this dialog too. And I'm going to click now on Ungroup Selected. And then I'm also going to select the other image, and I'm also going to click on Ungroup Selected. Now, if I move the yellow layer, I see that the background is entirely yellow. If I move the light blue layer, I see that it's entirely blue. Let's zoom out a little bit. On the other hand, if I had stack scans removed and I move the yellow layer to the bottom, you see it's only a circle. Well, if I remove the blue layer to the top, it's not a rectangle, it's the outline of the petals. Note that if I do have stack scans on, the lightest layer is all the way on the bottom and it's just a rectangle. This layer is called the background layer, which actually brings us to the next button, remove background layer. If you remove the background layer, then the background layer, as I just explained, will be removed, and you will only have the remaining layers left. Let's demonstrate. I click on the image and I click on OK, ensuring that remove background is selected, and let's see what we get. We get only two layers. The yellow one and the black one. And the background is empty. Now, finally, let's quickly remove all these images, these paths. And then let's go back to Trace Bitmap, and I will tell you about SIOX foreground selection. Let's say we are only interested in this yellow part of the flower. In that case, the rest is background, and we would like to remove the background and keep the foreground. Let's click on an object and draw the object on the foreground. I'm going to make it a bit transparent so we can more clearly see what we are selecting. And make sure that this shape which we draw has some fill. If it doesn't have any fill but only stroke, it's not gonna work. Now we select both the image and the shape which we use as a foreground selector, and we go to Path, Trace Bitmap, and click on SIOX Foreground Selection, and then click on OK, and we wait a bit and we close it. And now I'm going to move my selection piece away, and as we see here, we have the yellow part of the flower identified. Okay, thank you for watching. In the next lesson we are going to start a bit of a practice, start drawing our main practice picture. See you next time.